Labyrinth, come in.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of APA Anime Edition. I'm Jamie Runa, and today's a very special episode. We're doing a Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood comparison. Okay, first of all, let's compare the plot lines. I mean, there are very big differences, even in relatively smaller plot points, like for example, what causes the existence of a homunculus, and why is someone creating Philosopher's Stones? Of course, the actual way you create Philosopher's Stones doesn't vary by much, but it does vary by the volume of what you need, you know? If you compare these points alone, it kind of feels like FMA is quite lazy in its storyline versus FMA Brotherhood. Because I mean, there are so many facets of each plot point with FMA Brotherhood. But with FMA it's like, so this guy exists because of that, and this is who that guy is, and he does this. And this is what they use the Philosopher's Stone for, and this is what Ed and Al want the Philosopher's Stone for. No. Here it's just like, well this, and this make up a homunculus. This, and this is why someone's creating a Philosopher's Stone. They're just trying to create this massive Philosopher's Stone because they're fucking crazy. That is pretty cool, I gotta be honest. Brotherhood tells you so much about the country that this story is actually set in, and you actually get to learn a little bit about the neighboring countries. And as I've mentioned before, I'm pretty nerdy when it comes to that stuff. So you can imagine, I was just like, ah! The thing is with FMA is that what Ed and Al are doing, it kind of feels like it's completely separate from everything, you know? So like, people can go about their business on the other side of the country. What Ed and Al do doesn't affect them whatsoever. And, you know, it doesn't feel so great. It doesn't feel like their adventure is on such a grand scale in that regard. However, in FMA Brotherhood, it's like at one point, they suddenly are saving the world. I'm sorry, but I like that. I watch stuff about superheroes and certain animes for a reason. I want to feel that sense of, they're a hero. There are so many characters that FMA Normal, that's what I call it, is lacking versus FMA Brotherhood. For example, the Ice Queen, otherwise known as the Northern Wall of Briggs. I mean, come on, that is a fucking cool title. And also like Ling, and oh my goodness gracious. So many important characters! And I mean, even those 7 deadly sins, a few of their identities are pretty different. And like, a few of them you don't even see coming. It's just like, whoa, where did that come from? I found myself super surprised by how easy it actually was to connect with characters in FMA Brotherhood. I mean, it's just like, oh my gosh, I love that one! Oh my gosh, that was so awesome! Oh my gosh, I hate that bitch. It was so easy to make those connections in FMA Brotherhood. In FMA, you're just like, well, he's a D-bag. Yeah, he's okay. Meh. That is all. But in FMA Brotherhood, you're just like, whoa! You know? I mean, it feels like the most natural thing ever. Whereas in FMA, well, that guy's a douchebag kind of feeling, it even feels forced because they're trying so hard to make you feel something. The character development of everyone who isn't Ed and Al is like super amazing. Because I mean, you get to know so much about backstories and even character traits and even little defining features are like way more well portrayed in Brotherhood than in FMA Normal. I feel like the music in FMA versus Brotherhood is actually very poorly executed. It's like they just found something that they thought sounded good and threw it in there. And they didn't actually consider the effect that it would have on the actual vibe of the scene they were portraying, you know? Whereas in Brotherhood, it's just like, you feel your like heart racing with the beat depending on like what scene it is, where you're just like, oh my goodness, what's happening? And the music just enhances your experience so much. It's crazy! Not to mention with FMA Normal, it feels like when they're doing battle scenes, they're trying too hard to make it look fucking cool. I mean, because of that slight poor execution on their part, if I may say so. And I mean, why does it look so cool is that you feel like Ed and Al are just like super limited. And I mean, more than by the normal limitations that actually are limitations on their actual alchemy. there were way many, "Oh shit, I wonder what that guy's planning now," moments in Brotherhood than there were in FMA. And FMA was just like, well, damn, that happened. It's so indifferent. The feeling you have in FMA versus FMA Brotherhood. You feel indifferent in FMA. That's the difference. Different starting to sound weird. Not to mention, the ending in FMA is disappointing as balls. FMA Brotherhood's ending was exactly what I wanted. It was like, yes! Thank you! And it didn't feel rushed. FMA Brotherhood's ending didn't feel rushed. FMA's ending felt super rushed. It was just like, what? It was like they had one idea of what they wanted the ending to be, but then they kind of turned it in a completely different direction at one point. You were just like, what the fuck just happened? It was like M. Night Shyamalan. It was like watching an M. Night Shyamalan movie. However, all of that being said, I still strongly believe that if a person has not been exposed to the FMA universe as a whole, they should definitely watch FMA Normal before FMA Brotherhood. However, if your life is pretty much lacking on time and you still want amazing awesomeness, I understand if you just watch Brotherhood. Because I mean, Brotherhood is amazing. Like, I'm not kidding. It's super good, like, oh my gosh. I mean, a friend of mine recommended that I do that when I started to be introduced to the universe, and I'm so glad that I did, because essentially, FMA is still a very unique story, and it's still very different from a lot of other very common stuff out there, you know? And I mean, it is pretty cool. Anyway guys, that's it for my comparison video. If you feel like I've forgotten something, feel free to leave it in the comments. Or if you feel like you just want to add to the discussion, or if you feel like screaming at me because you think I'm wrong, feel free to comment. Like, favorite, subscribe, do everything you want, and I will see you next time. Bye!